Good evening, race fans. Welcome back to Monday nights in the Affinity Racing Series. We're kicking off Season 3 here with my co-commentator as always in the booth. Art, how we doing tonight?
I'm real excited to be back, working Monday nights for at least a top 3 league of ours for ARS.
Definitely one of the leagues of all time, but no, happy to be back here for the TGR eSports 250 back at Daytona this season. Season 3 going to be benefiting the NASCAR Foundation, so super excited about that. More information will be coming soon on that. The race information tonight is as follows. No qualifying tonight. Lineups were set by qualifying via speed weeks earlier in the week, so the lineup's already set. 100 laps here tonight. 55% fuel capacity for an estimated fuel run of 21 to 24 laps. 6 total sets of tires, 1 starter, 5 in the pits, 0 fast repairs, and 3 green-white checkers, with the third being the point of no return. So if they keep wadding them up, we get to that third green-white checkered attempt, then it's just too bad. So sad. We're going to finish no matter what. But here we go. Let's go ahead and get you right in to it as we are starting to grid up. It'll be Jarrett Talmadge rolling off in P1 here this evening. Looks like we have a field of 35 drivers here this evening. Off Season 3, so almost everybody of the 39 next-gen field. We're ready to rock and roll. So it looks like Michael McElroy and Brandon French going to be starting from pit road. Other than that, we're ready to roll out here. Art, who's winning this sucker tonight?
I think I'm going to make, my early pick for championship winner and race winner all in one.
All right, go ahead.
Give me Cade McClenny.
Cade McClenny. It's a tough.
Cade McClenny.
We saw him last season burst onto the scene. I think this style of racing, I think we're going to get a Dylan Failvich win. TTSL Motorsports, we saw how well they worked at Talladega. So I think we're getting a Dylan Failvich win. And I think we're getting a Cade McClenny championship.
We're both going Cade McClenny. I mean, it's a pretty fair thing to, it's pretty easy.
It is, in fact, easy. Here we go. 100 laps. Kicking off Season 3. Pace car is off. 35 cars here tonight. And Season 3 of the Affinity Racing Series Next Gen is underway. And the 2 drivers that just start from pit road are making their way off, so all 35 cars got a shot to win. Got some...
I think someone that should have been heavily considered, and I believe he won last year as well, was Thomas Green.
Yeah, that was your defending champion.
Yeah.
We already have drivers dropping to the back. I believe that is Cale McClenny in the 7 machine. Drop to the back, plan move there on the first lap. Lap number 1 on the season. Give it to Jarrett Talmadge. Started on pole. He'll be lap number 199 laps to go. Got some new numbers. Some guys switching some numbers. New paint schemes. New teams. And, of course, new drivers that were promoted from the Next Up series. There's one of them, Nick Sipple. We saw him on Saturday afternoon for the LSRL Daytona 500. We're getting real antsy in that mid-pack. 3 wide back around Andrew Tenold.
I think there might have been a little blinking issue about 10 going back.
But it's Ryan Tiller to the point. It's not rigged, but YJ Media Motorsports representing early on, getting pushed really nicely by that 75 machine. Randy Arms in third, Sam Demien right there as well. So we're looking good. Boys at the front.
Need to have a little chat with Randy. He's the only one of those that does not have a YJ on the car.
He is running under our banner, so we'll give him a break.
We're not getting Moza money.
Not yet, we're not. But I mean, this is a beautiful looking field. Brandon Bowers is still in the testing paint scheme, though. He's all black. We know Jughead works so well at these plate tracks, and just like that, there's James Jimmy Fillers, Brandon Bowers, Team Jughead working together on that high side. They're bringing Joshua McQuiggan right with them. And 4 laps. All green. Casey Brown blinking out just a little bit. And it's been pretty racy, though. It's not been single file around the bottom. We're not doing 200 laps. So the sense of urgency right there from the start. There's Cade McClenny dropping to the back just a tad bit. It looks like everybody's got a dancing partner. The 2 drivers that started from pit road are together. Brandon Richard, Perrin Huggins working together. Brandon Richard, welcome back to the Next Gen Series. Everyone's got a dancing partner.
Wait, Brandon Richard is here?
Yes, he is.
Shocking thing I've heard.
Or we just did over 200 laps. The LSR Oil Daytona 500 went to a green white checkered, so we did over 500 miles, over 200 laps. We have had plenty of seat time from the eye in the sky view. What are some of the keys tonight for these drivers that are trying to win the TGR eSports 250 half race distance? What's some of the keys?
It's going to depend on your strategy. If you're, one of the guys who wants to sit at the back, it's going to be patient. You can't let it, get you antsy. You've got to wait till that end of the race. You got to know which holes to hit. You've got to be willing to take it 3 wide. It's not as big as Talladega, but the cars fit. Now, if you want to run up front, it's going to be that consistency. Find your guy, lock him onto your bumper, and don't let go.
I think with 100 laps, too, the urgency will pick up quicker and quicker, earlier and earlier. Right now, we've actually started to settle out just a little bit, which is kind of expected after the opening frenzy, everyone trying to get where they want to be. It has settled out just a little bit, and we have some groups forming. To your point, patience is going to be a big thing, consistency. Team play here, so important, especially in the ARS. Guys really work together well. We see it everywhere we go in terms of the super speedway tracks. TTSL, that Talladega race a couple of months ago, that second Talladega race, needs to be studied for how to run a plate race. And then
first,
just the underrated point, 200 laps on Saturday, 500 miles, you got 1 fast repair, 250 in terms of the mileage here tonight. 100 laps, no fast repair. So the urgency, it's going to be there, but you have no fast repair to fall back on. So that's something to consider. These guys up here racing could find themselves out of it early if something goes awry.
Oh yeah, you can even see that 11 car getting up real close to that wall. I think he actually made a little bit of contact with it. The problem is, you either want to be controlling one of the lines, knowing that your destiny is really in your hands, or you want to be in a safe space, which it's hard to find a safe space on a super speedway.
I'd say the safest place right now, Michael McElroy.
Probably right about that.
But even if he's not paying attention, I mean, he could get on that right rear quarter panel or left rear quarter panel. He could turn Brandon French around, honestly. It happens that quick. That's a lot of what we saw on Saturday. Guys getting on the left or right rear quarter panel, especially at a turn 2 and 4 when the car starts to get a little bit light. And we'll turn somebody around real quick.
So we can see the same thing we saw on Saturday for at least the first 50 minutes. Like green flag, I would love green flag pit stops. Strategy here.
absolutely. And the fuel run's a lot shorter. We're on 55% fuel, so we'll be, what did we get on Saturday? About 40-ish, right? A little bit over 40. So we'll be a little bit over 20 here. But it is starting to settle out. Only 4 cars on that top line. Now make it 5 as Nick Miller goes to the tie side. But it's a Jughead 1-2 right now. They got out front, used that high line, and then dropped down and kind of stalled out their momentum, and they've just been comfortable with a 1-2 ever since.
Yeah, if you're going to make that
fastest lap of the race last night, 45.73.
If you're going to make that high line work, if you don't have someone tucked up on your bumper, you're going to have to side draft. Not a whole lot of that going on, but McQuiggan is getting pretty close to that inside line.
Casey Brown tucked up a little bit closer. They got the 3 machine. And that is just trying to... Right behind Casey, that's Thomas Green. Yeah, new numbers. I was like, wait a minute. He was in the 13 last season. Oh, look at that. Now, Jughead, they are, like you just said, they're going to control both lines. So... unless someone wants to make a 3rd line, there's going to be a Jughead car in the front. So that's a strategic move right there. We see this in real life with the colleague cars. They try and control all 3 lines. They usually end up wrecking each other. Same thing with Junior Motorsports, but...
well, we're going to see it. McQuiggan, I thought he was going to try and make it 3, but he just goes down and take control of that inside line.
See, in McQuiggan, that's the best way to do it, right? You say, all right, we have 2 team cars controlling the top and bottom lines in front of us. The way to counter that, you push one of them so far out in front of the other, and then you leave them out to dry.
Well, now they're leaving you, because Bowers just did the same thing to him.
Yep. It's a game of cat and mouse. Bowers led at the line there. McQuiggan now trying to lead that inside line. Jughead back at the top. Casey Brown making a move to the inside. He'll jump down right in front of McQuiggan. Let's give a warm congratulations. We know we mentioned briefly. Ooh, Jughead almost in front of the entire field. They're going for it. That got a little dicey for Fillers and Bowers there, but let's give a warm welcome to your promoted drivers. Sipple in the 75. Doug Ezel in the 67. Joshua Parent in the 22. Cody B. Johnson in the 08. Jacob Thornton in the 31. Cale McClenny in the 7. Jeffrey Rudick in the 07. Zach Range in the 43. And Perrin Huggins in the 24. All promoted last season from the next up. Addressing our newcomers, that top line has evaporated. Only 1 car, and it's heading to the back. That is
the 99 machine, Kevin Boley.
He's heading right to the tail end of this single file train. He'll drop in behind Doug Ezel here in a moment. And the reason for that is we are halfway already to our first round of green flag pit stops.
I was going to say, I think this is just a strategy. Get in line, be prepared. Don't want to try and run each other over from the high side.
That we have that. Kevin Boley, 17-car single file train around the bottom. 1 second back. Cade McClellan, Dylan Phillips trying to close, which they would love to do right before pit stops. They're 9/10 of a second back, so I believe they have accomplished that. Now 8/10 back, so bring this second group into play. This is going all the way back to 27th place. And then 28th on back, the guys that simply don't want to be involved, at least for the first 50 to 60 laps even. You got Daniel Pendergrass back to Zach Range. And then another 4-car group led by Brandon French. Back to Brandon Richard. They're just hanging out. They're waiting for something to happen. They're expecting it to happen. So about 10 laps away from the first cycle of green flag pit stops. And we have a 27-car train around the bottom side of the racetrack. Technically, it's a 35-car train. It's just broken up at various points. They are all just riding around on the double yellow. And they're just having a good time right now. Feeling each other out, getting it warmed up here, leaving a lot of room. I mean, look at Doug Ezel. Leaving 2 car lengths behind him, Kevin Boley. Cade McClellan, another 2.5 car lengths.
Yeah, there's really not a lot you can do in these situations because everyone's going to be pitting around the same time. It's just going to be like, do you stay out that extra lap? Do you try and come in to get your group gathered up together?
Yeah, and then so Jughead 1-2 at the front, so they're going to tandem. They're just going to work together. So it's going to take an organized, kind of sequence from anybody if they would want to beat this. And, everyone else, they're comfortable just sitting here. They're saying, hey, we're in the lead group. Coming up on pit stops, we survived the opening portion of the race, so we're just, people are content with that. I don't blame them.
Yeah, if I was in this race, like, we have that team, YJ Media Motorsports, I'd be trying to, contact my guys. Like, hey, maybe we want to come in a lap earlier, get all of our cars connected so we can, be together during the cycle.
Yeah, it's the only other thing now. The next phase of this race is for the pit stops. When do you want to pit? Do you pit with the first group or the second group? You try and pit with just your team to avoid some of the chaos. That's kind of the next phase.
And we don't have none of that manufacturer alliance. It's all, just team. It would be cool to have manufacturer alliance.
It would.
Chevy, hit us up. We got 2 trucks. Actually, Hyundai hit us up. Bring them to NASCAR.
I love that static view of just all the cars lined up on the bottom. It's a nice sound when you fly by. But first to 27th, it's about 3.5 seconds nose to tail of this train. Brandon Bowers, the engine conducting this right now. Lucas Reed, the caboose. Nobody dares to step out of line right before pit stops. Just a handful of laps away right now.
Not a whole lot of teammates together to, potentially make a push for it.
Oh, and as we say that, here's 2 guys coming in. Cale McClenny and
Zach Range. Where is Range going? Did he missed his box by a lot.
So that's an interesting decision because they pitted just 2-car group, but they're now separated from each other.
Definitely was a decision.
So you can see that single file train. He has to wait on it. And he'll pick it up right at the tail end here. And Zach Range is on pit road for 42 seconds, so I'm not sure if he sped coming in. Let's take a look. I'm not 1,000% sure what that was about, honestly. So here's his entrance. And yeah, I mean, he just missed it. He went forward, meant to put it in reverse. Yeah, that was he really missed it.
He was following Cale.
So that's the thing too. No qualifying the day of. It was throughout the week. So if you don't remember where you started, you're not going to remember where your pit box would be because it was manually set for you. So that's something these drivers might have to face here. This main pack. Will anyone else miss their box? Let's see, but. Cale McClenny, your lucky dog. Here comes the Jughead boys, all by themselves. And I tell you what, this necessarily isn't a bad thing, because if they can get right hooked up and start tandeming, it could very easily still end up with them in the lead. We've seen this before. So now it's on this group of now what is 25 cars to respond, and here comes the backpacks. 3 wide on the entry. So we would expect the leaders in this time by at least some of this 25-car group.
I've got my eye on them. I'm going to assume it's going to be all of them.
And then so the plan did not work. Travis De Leon's pitting by himself. Where's the rest of his CMS teammates? It didn't work because Fillers was 4 seconds quicker on his pit stop. So there was a miscommunication there, and they're not going to have the tandem, so that's going to send them to the back.
We have people tandeming moving up the line now, actually.
So this has gotten all out of whack now. But here's the this is the back group that's pitting. They're pitting out. Those are the guys way at the tail end of the line. And here comes Randy Arms, Samuel Demien. They want to say, hey, we're going to be at the front when we come into pit. Here comes McQuiggan. And about 90% of the rest of the main pack. Here they come. Casey Brown going to lead it in. Can they all make it? Failvich really hot on the entry. And here comes everybody. Minus
what an
4.
entrance.
I mean, that was well done by everybody. Whether they find their box is a whole different story, but they nailed pit entry there, fellas. Well done. We'll wait and see how the running order shakes out.
Now, I'm just going to sit here and question this call by Randy and Demien.
And there's Pinder and Miller, so they're going to pit as a 4-car group here this time by. They pushed it right to the edge of the range, 24. And that's what you can do if you sit at the tail end of a snake or a train or whatever you call it. And here comes the last 4.
It's very interesting, especially when they have...
Yeah, hang on. And they nailed it. All 4 of these guys nailed it. So here we go.
They had teammates in the big pack.
So look at this, though. They exited well, too. Look at this. They're pretty much almost all grouped up. Well done. But these 3 right here are on a mission. Casey Brown, Thomas Green, Nick Sipple.
Okay. I was going to say, I thought Thomas Green was hopping out of line. He's just trying to get cool air.
Yeah, I mean, they came out
behind.
Hot. This 75 has proven to be a very good pusher, but here's Randy Arms. But here comes Casey Brown. It's going to be close. But I think give it to Casey Brown.
Nick Miller is skirting with that yellow line.
Oh, wait a minute. No, hang on. I might be wrong again. It's going to be very close. It depends on how quick this 8 and 21 can get hooked up. But here they come. Look at this. The field's trying to reform. Pinder and Miller are together. They could have something to say about this because Demien and Randy Arms, they're not connected yet. So it could be Nick Miller that is in the catbird seat right now. Let's go on board here.
I think he's rolling it up.
Or are they all
he's falling in line.
So that's going to kill the momentum, and here comes Nick Sipple. He's going to have a whale of momentum. Thomas Green all over the back bumper. The top 8 have separated themselves from this pack. Maybe top 7. They're trying to leave Casey Brown as we speak. And Nick Sipple tucks back in line.
Casey Brown was vital to that charge, and he's just going to get dropped off.
I mean, he's gone. He's now in no man's land, and it's up to this group what they're going to do with him. Dylan Failvich got a little bit of a shove there.
Failvich is about to get turned.
From Parent, and Parent's not going to let him back in. So they'll go to the tail end of this line.
He's got enough room to tuck in if he just... There he is.
But now that's actually going to... The whole second pack now, this second group there, that's all of a sudden got them all feisty.
Yeah, Parent is fighting. This is like... He can't be doing this.
They're disorganized right now.
This Parent, this Kevin Boley.
They are up in... Like, here's where you start thinking a wreck's about to occur, honestly. They're kind of miscommunicating in and out of lines. They can't decide who they want to lead the group, so this is where you run into problems. We saw it on Saturday.
I mean, Parent and Bowman they were dang near pulling away there.
So Casey Brown does finally find a home. Fillers lets Kevin Boley in line, and they've settled their differences. But now they're 4.5 seconds behind the top 7. 7-car breakaway. Throw Zach Range in there. So it's 8 cars at the front. Obviously, he missed his box. He's off cycle, off sequence a little bit. Randy looking like he's going to drop and let his teammate lead a lap, get a bonus point. That's great team play. Nick Miller nice enough to let him back in. Top 8 right now being really disciplined. They're sharing the spoils amongst themselves. Second group actually is catching, though. We didn't see that a lot on Saturday. We didn't see a second or third group really make a sustained charge. But William Bowman is closing in. He got it from 4.5 seconds down to 3.9 this lap.
I mean, it definitely helps with a push in that. I mean, I was questioning Parent with how aggressive he was being, trying to move up the line, but he is one heck of a pusher.
So this group goes from William Bowman in the 8th position all the way back down to Jacob Thornton in 20th. Doug Ezel, Alex Shira, 22nd. Travis DeLeon, Lucas Reed, Brandon Bowers, and Devin Galvin. Brandon French, Michael McElroy, Daniel Pendergrass, and Cale McClenny. The last cars on the lead lap. Joshua McQuiggan, also in this group, is your lucky dog. Jeffrey Rudick, Brandon Richard, Aaron Huggins, the only man without a drafting partner. And
well, I see problems happening for this second group. Sean Anderson, Cody B. Johnson, now Joshua Parent going up to be a part of that second line. This infighting could, stop the progress they were making.
They are. Let's see. They got some momentum, though. Joshua Parent, Sean Anderson, Cody B. Johnson. They'll pull down in front of William Bowman. Jacob Thornton was not a part of the plan, so the 08 goes back up to help him out. And there's James Jimmy Fillers. As well, they actually are gaining still, so if they can just figure it out, they would catch even quicker single file.
You would, yeah.
If they figure it out. So some notable, I guess, stats from that pit stop. Fillers comes out 15th after he pitted from the lead. Brandon Bowers was second. He comes out 25th. They got separated, which is hard to do on a 2-car pit stop, but that's what happened. And that has massively affected their race. Zach Range missed his box and then spent 49 seconds in it once he finally got to it. And then Perrin Huggins, Brandon Richard, Jeffrey McQuiggan, they all had their own issues getting separated from the field. Yeah, that second group is coming. 2.8 seconds now.
Honestly surprised with how much time they're gaining, over half a second a lap. And they're fighting.
46.6 to a 47.3. It's actually even closer because it's 2.8 back to Talmadge. And then there's Perrin Huggins and Zach Range, so there's 2 other cars. So it's probably right about 2 seconds, honestly. So they are going to catch this main group. And that'll give us 20 cars back in the main group. Driver update redemption for Ryan Tiller. He started in the 6th position, was battling up front early. Got lost in the shuffle just a tiny bit on pit stops. But he will be back in the lead pack here momentarily. The driver of the 23 YJ Motorsports, YJ Media Motorsports Toyota Camry. Or what is it now? Are they still the Camry? I forget.
Chevy? Oh, he is a Camry.
Toyota. It's the Ford, Dark Horse, Chevy Camaro, Toyota Camry still. Okay. They just updated the body. They didn't change the make of the car.
At least Demian's still in a Chevy.
So now the first group is starting to get a little antsy. Andy Arms jumping to the outside. They're trying to position themselves as the second pack will merge with them. Which isn't necessarily a terrible idea. Randy said, hey, come up with me. We'll form this outside line, and I'll get it started for y'all. Y'all push me to the front. Fillers might take him up on my offer. Or Randy, never mind. Gonna drop to the back, it looks like. So here we go, though. Parrot Huggins wants to get one of his laps back the hard way. So does Zach Range. They'll be pushing hard. They are every lap 1% ticked off of this race. 34% complete this time by. You don't have a whole lot of time to be stuck laps down. Parrot Huggins trying to get a lap back. Zach Range happy to oblige because he needs one too. You would expect them to maybe pull down in front, lead the line. They can control their fate. Say, hey, we're leading the line. Someone tries to come back and lap us, we'll block, and we'll be in control here. That's very important for them because they're 2 down. Parrot Huggins went from 2 to 1 down, so that is huge for them. They kind of have to battle this. You don't want to be stuck 2 down. Because there's 3 drivers ahead of you that are a lap down. So you really can't afford to be stuck 2 laps down, near and halfway.
Not even worse. Neither of them would really be the lucky dog. They're fighting, not even fighting.
So here's the thing, though. Here's an interesting thing. If they can stay ahead of this group, this lead pack, one of them, both of them, you know, maybe one of them does. I can't say. I can't predict the future. Nick Miller, your leader, by the way, once all that's settled out. But they would catch. They are 5 seconds behind the next 2 lap cars, so they're going to catch them. And then they will catch McQuiggan at some point if they keep staying with the lead group. So this could actually end up playing into them getting a lucky dog. So here's the issue for Jeffrey Rudick and Brendan Richard. They're going to face the same problem here. You don't want to go from 1 lap down to 2 laps down. Because again, you're behind. McQuiggan is 19 seconds ahead of you. He is comfortably the lucky dog. So, you can't afford to be going 2 laps down. The problem is Parrot Huggins and Zach Range, they are right now comfortably 1 lap down because they are leading this group. But Richard and Jeffrey Rudick, they are a group of 2. They are going to just get flown by here in a second. Because
and it's not like...
Because Parrot Huggins and Zach Range are going to pass them for position. They want improved standing for the lucky dog. And they're not going to ruin their momentum. So they're going to get past. And that's going to put them 2 down.
And it's not like either of them are, bad drivers. They're just a lap down due to circumstances at this point.
Because they were in that backpack of 4, and they didn't get caught up with the pack after pit stops. So, I mean, it's just, they were hanging too far back.
Yeah, like, exactly what Nick Miller is currently doing. I would just stay behind.
Yeah, there's no reason to force the issue. No reason. You could save fuel. I don't know what Zach Range is doing. I do not know. Unless...
Well, they're starting a fight now.
Right. Well, if he can get clear, I mean, that's fine. And then there's Fillers. So that was interesting. They just swapped. Nick Miller... Fillers was trying to take advantage of the situation. And he... it's going to be close. Fillers does take advantage of the situation, so Fillers leapfrogs into the lead.
Yeah, it's gonna be bonus points.
Yeah. I thought Fillers were gonna get hung out there, but he just had. Nick Miller's playing it very conservative right now. He's like, all right, we got 2 lap cars fighting up here.
And we're coming up to next round.
23 laps. 23 laps. So yeah, in the next 6 to 7 laps, 4 to 8 ish, really. About the range when it's going to open. So here we go. This is going to break up the pack again. You're going to have some guys that are going to gain from this, some guys that are going to end up big losers. So, but I mean, look, they are playing it so cautious right now.
I was going to say, it looks like there's a lot of saving going on.
Look at the gaps that are being held right now. Fillers is in no way, shape, or form trying to close up to the back bumper of Perrin Huggins right now. So they are saving fuel. And everybody else back to Ryan Tiller in 20th. They are happy to oblige. I mean, look at the gaps that they're leaving. They're out for a Sunday stroll right now. Back here, single file. All like it's just, again, every single car in the field is single file.
Yeah, I'm looking not a single car out of line.
Nope.
Just things you love to see. It could, well, only at super speedways.
Here we go, though. Let's take a look at the cockpit here. They are closing in here. This is going to be a battle for position. They are slowly closing in. I wonder how hard Rudik and Richard fight this. You're coming up on halfway. You're about to be put 2 laps down. Do you try and blend in with them? Force the issue? I'm just very curious to see how this plays out right now. They'll be in the draft here in approximately 2 to 3 seconds, like literal seconds. They'll get to that 1 second bubble. They're gonna have a huge run. I mean, they're split. There's a gap in between them. There's 2 car lengths. I imagine the field just kind of blows by them on the outside, and then they'll be stuck 2 laps down. As we say this, here's Michael McElroy. So that back pack has come in again. So here we go. It's on, and they're going to pit right as the leaders catch them.
Ooh, Range is coming in with those 3.
Perrin Huggins is going to stay out.
Might be hoping for a caution.
We'll see. McQuiggan. So that's going to put them laps down again, but they'll get it back once the lead group pits again. At 43, Perrin Huggins trying to hang on. Jeffrey Rudik, another slow stop, so he's practically out of the race now, I would imagine, with how clean it's been. 3 laps down. That's going to be nearly impossible to come back from.
Got at least one coming in. Wreck!
That's the 15 machine, Travis De Leon. I don't think it's going to bring out a caution. And who did he get tagged from there? Coming across. Trying to pit. That is Lucas Reed. I just don't know what this was all about. So there was, it's just a little bit of iffiness. They're trying to pass the group that just pitted the lap before. But I'm not sure what Lucas, that's just, I am not sure what that was. So Travis De Leon, by far the biggest loser. As Fillers is pitting by himself. And Bowers is trying to come to his rescue. So I'm very curious to see how this is kind of shaken out. Perrin Huggins continues to pace this field.
Yeah, I think he's trying to maintain that. I mean,
1 lap down
lead.
status, yeah. As they're getting very racy, trying to get around some guys. It's Doug Ezel all by himself, and he's parked on the bottom.
We might have a little too wide.
Yeah, so this is going to be interesting right as pit stops. There goes Perrin Huggins, and I think he's pitting by himself. And that's kind of the issue he runs into. He held it for so long, but he's not going to have any help when he comes back out. Doug Ezel is your lucky dog in 25th, 24 cars on the lead lap, back to Alex Chira. Miller, your leader, they're about to put him a lap down, that 9 machine and the 03. So yeah, this is all about how well you got on and off of pit road. I mean, this is simply what it is right now.
Chris Bender's still stuck on that outside line. No one let him in.
He's in 7th, so I mean, it's not a terrible spot, but he would definitely love to have some help. And here we go. He's going to have an opportunity to now. This is a group of 5. Looks like they nailed it. Nick Miller, Nick Sipple. In a way, this is one of the weirdest races we've seen in a while. It really is.
I mean, I kind of get that, especially
like
with the fuel the way that it is.
I am just, it's not a bad race. I'm all for some pit strategy. It doesn't necessarily make sense the way some of these guys did this. The way that they pitted with each other and whatnot. It wasn't necessarily as cohesive as I would have assumed.
Here's Pender leading a lap. Who is off the track there? Bowman?
Yeah, Bowman. He might get a penalty for that.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say some of these drivers were not prepared for green flag pit stops.
It looked unorganized from several of them. It really did. And I'll say this: the guys that were 28th on back, because the first sequence of pit stops, right? We had the lead group at 27. 28th on back didn't even have a shot because they were half a lap back, and then they pitted. So like they didn't even have a shake at it. Oh, that was it. That was hot on the entry from all 3 of these guys. Everyone again. We've had one wreck on the pit road. That was DeLeon getting hit from Lucas Reed. But like, it's interesting.
I think Damien's going to be the leader of this race.
If he takes the run, he's got his teammate. Yep, they're going to take the run. Look at the YJ boys.
I mean, that's 3 of them. Is Casey Brown on the team?
Yes, he is. Oh, my goodness.
We talk about people being, like, unorganized. I mean, look at that.
But look at this, though. I mean, like, it's just so... I'm so curious because the Jughead boys are 1-2. They pitted 3 laps before everybody else by themselves, and they got separated doing it. We've lost Perrin Huggins from the race due to just... He got off sequence. He wasn't going to get the laps back. Jeffrey Rudick had a couple slow stops. Zach Range pitted by himself on the first go. Like, I'm curious. It's hard to keep track of with all of them. That's a YJ Media Motorsports 1 through 4. And they would love to see this race go green the rest of the way.
They're going to have a little competition.
They are. So here's the thing.
Sipple's there.
It is
Talmadge, Thomas Green.
It is now a 16-car, what effectively will be a lead pack. It was 20. We went from 27 to 20. Now we're down to 16 because I'm assuming that Nick Miller and Cody B. Johnson catch the lead group. They have McClenny, Failvich, Bowley. Those are some good pushers. So I'm assuming the second group catches the leaders. And then back to Chris Pender. That gives you 16. So we've gone from 33, because we had 2 guys start from pits. So we had 33 in the lead group. After the first round of pit stops, it was 27. Then 20. Now 16 guys will be in the lead pack. So we are just slowly losing the second half of this lobby. Brandon Richard up there. He started dead last in 35th from the pits. And he was just in that back pack. And he didn't really get a chance because they pitted as a group of 4 while being 20 seconds off the lead, and it's gone green since then. So, I mean, it is what it is. He's just kind of stuck with his group of 4.
Perrin has manually disconnected and is the first car out of this race.
Yeah, he pitted by himself, realized that he was going to be stuck laps down, and he was off sequence, so he just called it a night.
I mean,
I can't say that I blame him. I mean, he was going to be 2 laps down, off sequence, literally no help on the racetrack.
Always got to have faith.
So there's going to be 16 cars in the lead group. They are catching. It's 2.2 seconds. 16 cars in the lead group. There's still 28 on the lead lap. back to Cale McClendon. And they are 18 seconds behind the lead. So we'll be stuck at 28 for a while. We are past halfway. In one of the strangest, most unique races we've seen in a long, long time. Here in the TGR eSports 250. Jeffrey Rudick again making a pit stop. Actually, no, he didn't. He just, what was this? He said he was going to enter pit lane, but he's just dropping down out of the way, so no harm, no foul. And we're here with Miller. Gap 2.5 seconds to the back bumper of Thomas Green. Cody B. Johnson actually going to shove him out of the way. Sean Anderson says it's our turn. They will try and kill him. And I tell you what,
They did a pretty good job last time.
there's going to be a straggler at the back of this pack that they'll catch first. I believe it's one of the lap cars.
William Bowman. Oh, Travis.
And he is, yeah, he's hanging off of this pack, so he's actually going to be a bridge. Never mind, he lost ground too quickly, so that, I mean, it'll be a little bit useful. It'll be slightly helpful, but it will not be the bridge that I thought it might be. He's also in his testing paint scheme. Doesn't have the colors on it yet.
It's funny that you're having issues, because I see him with a paint scheme.
Really?
Yeah.
We'll do this then. A little trading paints refresh. Nothing. Still nothing. That's crazy. Whatever. Maybe next week.
Possibly.
So, that switch that they made getting Nick Miller out of line has actually lost them about half a second. Now it's Cade McClenny that says, alright, it's my turn. Dylan Failovich, you can push me.
They had a lap where they were catching. They had 2/10 on them, but give up.
So yeah, 3.1 seconds now. 7 versus 9. It actually might be kind of hanging the balance here. It might be stuck with this 3-second bubble. Who knows? Dylan Failovich knows how to get it done at these plate tracks. He's going to have to work really well with McClenny if they want to make inroads. The front pack seems to have stepped up the ante just a little bit. 46.7 from McClenny. 46.5 for Thomas Green, the last car in the lead pack. So, yellow is out. Hold everything. Was this... Oh, Lucas Reed, left front is broke. Alex Chira involved. Oh! So yeah, left front destroyed. The 03's night is done. This was back in what would have been the third pack. And the whole complexion of this race has changed. Let's take a look at this. So essentially 2 cars involved. Blown engine to boot. So who was this was that's Cale McClenny getting into the back of the 03 off of turn number 4.
Gave him a little too much juice out of the corner.
We're up on this high line, a little bit of a checkup. He just gets him in the left rear. off of full when the car gets really light, sends him around. Left front falls off, the engine is blown. Your night is done. Alex Shearer, I don't know how much damage he'll have. Significant. Oh, it's that right front is killed, so he's not going to be in good shape here either. The first caution of the season. Brought out in a, I guess, 3-car incident. It'll give us 26 cars on the lead lap. I imagine that's a tow link repair, so the 9 will go a lap down in the pits. Everybody's coming in. And then goes the 9 officially 1 lap down. So I believe William Bowman is the lucky dog. It'll give us 27 on the lead lap. Go talk to tonight's sponsor of the race. Here with the Tenold Galvin Racing crew, Andrew Tenold, Devin Galvin, Joshua Parent. Big shout out for, first of all, sponsoring tonight's race.
Woo!
Went over 50 laps, green, half the race in one run. What are you guys seeing out there tonight? It's kind of a unique race we just had for the first half.
Seen a lot of stupidity between a couple of people who are fairly close to us.
Yeah, there are a few people who we've been trying to work with tonight who have just been not helping us out in any way whatsoever. So they're just making some enemies out of us pretty early. But we'll know for next week just to not work with them and race them how they race us.
I'll give you a race answer. Everyone's running different strategies right now. A bunch of people that are trying to lead the race and a bunch that are just trying to sit back. It basically all just depends on who we think is going to wreck.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. And it was pretty racy for about the first 10 laps. Then it kind of became that single file fest around the bottom, and then it was kind of like how good you are on and off of pit road since then, up until that caution.
Yeah, pretty much. There's not a lot of pushing; it's more aero as well.
I feel like it's gonna get a little bit more hectic now because we're hitting 40 lap to go territory here, and this is where people are gonna start getting a little racy. So we'll see how it goes from here on out.
Absolutely. Appreciate the time, fellas, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
Interesting there that they said that they have a list already of people that they don't want to work with. So I didn't really see a whole lot. Maybe in that first 10 laps while all the chaos was happening, maybe. But since then, I assumed it would have been a single file fest and nobody's upset, but clearly some guys aren't working as well as they would have hoped, so people will remember that. It's pretty interesting. Yes, the YJ Media boys are killing it, Tony. Sorry you couldn't be there tonight. But they're doing a really nice job. They're in position. See if they can close it out over the next 40 laps, which we'll have on the restart. 40 laps to go. Big shout out to the Innocent Lives Foundation, the Season 2 charity. Seeing them hanging out in chat, pretty cool. Over $1,000 raised for them last season. So, 27. There'll be 27 cars in the lead lap. Bowman's going to get left, though. So, he'll hope for another quick caution. Travis De Leon and Quiggin and Zach Range will be fighting it out for the lucky dog. Yeah, absolutely, Nick. It was our pleasure. And we were very happy that the money's going to, or went to, I guess, at this point. Hard to believe that was already last season, but went to a fantastic cause. Pace car is off. Randy Arms, the control car, back through the Geico restart zone. We're back underway. 40 laps to go.
YJ Media Motorsports already trying to control the top.
Dedicated move by Randy there to go to the top. Casey Brown trying to link up with them as well. That's going to be 4 team cars in a row on the top side of the racetrack. But as they come off turn 2, let's crank it up for the first time tonight. We got the pack together. Let's crank it up. Further back, hard of the wall. That's Cale McClenny. Yellow is out. Devin Galvin involved. We're wrecking after the yellow. That's Kevin Boley down to the... Kevin Boley off the bumper of Nick Sipple. He'll hold it. Bowers is off. Oh, Cal.
Into the 25 here.
So there's a lot to unpack here.
I mean, Brandon did want us to talk about him. I don't think this is the reason he wants us to talk about him.
Absolutely, yeah, right off the restart. The car on the wall checks up the field, and it's just so picky. It's just hang on. There's a car on the wall. It's kind of... This is...
Brandon Richard.
Brandon Richard. He puts him in the wall. He comes down, puts him in the wall again. And then that leaves... Oh, man, that's just... It's like a couple of small incidents that all pile together to make one. So here's Devin Galvin.
I mean, it's just
he's checking up. Like, he is massively checking up. That is Jeffrey Rudick. That's kind of checking up, and then he gets out of the way. That's James Jimmy Fillers through the middle. So they're 4 wide now at this point. And then we go back to Bowers. He's got a head of steam. Cale McClenny is also checking up behind his brother. Contact there. Contact between Devin Galvin and Fillers. Bowers into it, and then Cale up the racetrack. That's just a lot going on. Interesting, to say the least. I don't know. You say, oh, it's Richard into the wall, but then you got a couple guys checking up, and you got Fillers and Bowers flying through the mid. I just don't know what to call that one on. It's like several things happening at once.
It is very special.
And then, of course, it ruined the first crank it up of the season, but, you know. So there was that and all of that. So who's the lucky dog now? That's another point. Is it McQuiggan? I don't know. You heard it there directly from Lucas Reed. I got punted, boys. It was a fun race. Good luck to the rest. And yeah, he did get turned off of turn 4, down to the inside wall, left front, destroyed, engine blown at the same time. So, it's a tough way to go out. Let's go talk to our team. Here with the YJ Media Motorsports fellas, Casey Brown, Randy Arms, Ryan Tiller, Samuel Demien.
Howdy.
Y'all are
Howdy.
looking real good out there tonight. Real good.
Yeah, we got, we're doing okay.
Just
Got a
a
little bit of
Call that
strategy
already.
going.
just a casual 1 through 4. But
It helps to have
little
friends
green.
helps to have friends in good places.
It does.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, it's not rigged. But y'all are actually just y'all work well as a team, and y'all have nailed the pit stops in the first half of the race, and that's what got you the track position now.
Yeah, there's a lot of math going on. A lot of paper, a lot of pencils, a lot of gears grinding in the head. So hopefully it plays to our advantage.
Absolutely, but now that the full pack's back together, the intensity is going to ramp up, so it's a whole different ball game now. Now it's we got to keep the track position, but we also have to survive now, so it's two-pronged.
Yeah, I feel like being up front is probably the safest place. So we can all stay up front. Hopefully keep the carnage behind us.
Absolutely. Well, you've done it so far, working well together, and good luck here as we get to the final third of this race.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. No pressure or anything. No pressure. So it looks like 27 cars on the lead lap. Looks like Travis DeLeon was actually the lucky dog recipient there. Zach Range, Quiggin, the two cars that will be battling it out for the lucky dog. Brandon Richard, 2 laps down all by himself. Jeffrey Rudick, 3 laps down by himself. Cale McClenny, massive repairs on pit road after that. Last caution. And Alex Chira back on the track after his incident. Try and pick up whatever response he can do. Lucas Reed, Perrin Huggins out of the race. So 33 cars on track, 27 on the lead lap. Pace car is off. Randy Arms, the control car, picks the outside line. And we're back underway.
Look at that inside line. Not really going, but that is entirely planned.
Oh, maybe not for Casey Brown. They didn't let him in. He's like, all right, I see how it is, guys. And he will be dropping back.
He has a spot there in 5th.
Didn't take it.
Oh, he's going
So he'll be leading the outside line though. Whenever that outside line gets to him. But it was almost perfect. They got 75% of the team cars there. They forgot.
Oh, 43 is going around.
That
Caution.
is Brandon Bowers
Zach Range.
involved. Zach Range. He was fighting for the lucky dog. And that's not how you get it. Brandon Richard also involved, so he's not getting it. Was McQuiggan involved?
I don't. Ooh, he gets real close to that grass down there.
Oh, and then he gets. Oh man, I think he's gonna get a 0x for this. There's no way he doesn't, right? There's no way. So who gets the lucky dog? Because then that would have been Rudick. So does Alex Chira get it? Maybe. So anyways, let's take a look what happened right off the yellow. Oh, he gets turned by Bowman. Oh.
Necessarily
Oh, Brandon Richard with the
I
follow
would
up.
necessarily say he got turned by Bowman. I mean, Range
let's-
took it 3 there.
So actually, oh wait, yeah. So there's a lot more to this. He's flying up here through the middle. Got a big checkup on the bottom. Oh, he comes. All right. So second look. Yeah, he does come down. I mean, you could see it. He gonna come down. You could tell because there's that little groove, that seam. He's almost right on it. Little bit of net code. Bowman came up a tiny bit as well. Yeah, so they kind of met in the middle there. And then he's sliding down the racetrack, and Brandon Richard with the KO shot. That'll do him in.